Hi, we'd like to tell you about our services and the Cloudsy Partnership Program. What is Cloudsy? Cloudsy is an IaaS platform of a set of IT services tailored and prepared specifically for partners. 200 plus partners like to work on our platform and support the business of more than 3,000 customers. There is a wide market of cloud providers, so why do our customers, our partners, choose Cloudsy IaaS? It's because our services are reliable and simple, as well as being profitable for partners, and we have special free services, discounts, and much more. The services which Cloudsy offers are full cloud IT infrastructure, ready to be modified according to your goals. The capability to build hybrid infrastructures when a part of your infrastructure is at your site or premises and the rest of it is in the cloud. Disaster recovery services. Microsoft SPLA licenses. Backup services. Object storage for storing data, including backups, content, documents, etc. Cloudsy provides not only a full set of cloud IT services, but also offers excellent conditions for an affiliate program. We've prepared the very best terms for our partners, including the ability to work both with the agency model as well as with the white label, the opportunity for partners to use free allocated resources, an IT storeroom for their needs or service demos and testing, a 20% partner discount with the exception of Microsoft SPLA and NCE licenses and object storage, testing within your own time frame, cashback and bonuses for partner sales managers. In addition, we offer joint marketing, giving you leads, collecting your own bundles, and so on. We would like to emphasize once again that the partnership program and the conditions that Cloudsy offers are all designed with full support and comprehensive assistance to our partners. There are 3 models to choose from: white label, reseller, and agent models. It's up to you which model of cooperation you choose. We don't ask an entry fee or any other obligations from our potential partners. We provide free testing and free pre-sale services, so don't be shy to ask us questions. What exactly are our models of cooperation? White label is when you implement Cloudsy services under your own brand on our platform. Your customers don't know that they use Cloudsy services. Even the control panel pages can be branded with your corporate colors and your logo. Partners who want to develop their own brand usually prefer this model. Reseller model. This model uses both our brand and our platform. You're just reselling our services, and you get cashback and other bonuses and free services. The agency model. Just bring your client to us and get rewarded. In fact, you act as an agent between the customer and Cloudsy. With the agency model, we find partners in your region to support your customer. And yes, our partnership program allows partners to earn more, receive pre-sale support, free 24/7 technical support, and ready-made leads from Cloudsy. And you can easily manage all services in one window. As the cherry on the cake, we provide 24/7 technical support to your customers as a service, thereby providing a full range of customer support on your behalf. Let's look more closely at the services we offer and how they work. Cloudsy platform is fully clustered and resilient. Services are hosted on clusters, which means that in the case of a failure on any node, virtual machines will start automatically. All infrastructure elements are duplicated and have a cross backup, which minimizes the risks of prolonged downtime or loss of information. For use with virtual machines, we offer 3 types of virtual disks hosted on disk storage, where guaranteed performance indicators are provided. These are super disks, up to 30,000 IOPS, and standard disks up to 10,000 IOPS for calculations and typical tasks, as well as an archive, slow disks, for storing archival information and backups, up to 1000 IOPS. Both Windows and Linux are supported as guest operating systems. The main service is Elastic Cloud, computing power for the creation, placement and use of IT infrastructure elements, virtual machines, disks, networks and network services, as well as additional options with individual payment for the actual use of each element. This means that we don't allocate a fixed pool of resources, and you only use those resources that you need at any given time, but with the possibility of dynamic change when it's required. Changes can be made through scripting because there is an API for this service. The main operations are automated and placed in our management console, where you can independently manage settings, perform the necessary operations, change configurations, add additional disks, use network services and much more. The management console has all of the functionality needed by your business. As part of the service we offer, you can use your own image library, and for an additional charge, you can also connect a backup for each virtual machine separately and specify the storage depth. Billing is carried out on a per-minute basis. We've developed a calculator by which you can immediately select the desired configuration based on your needs, add additional options, and at once see the total cost. The cost can be displayed for a day, a month, or an hour. The cost calculations can be made for one virtual machine or for several. After the calculation, you can either immediately create the desired configuration or download the calculation in Excel to present it to your customer. If you are our partner, you'll see the pricing with your discounts. We offer 3 types of virtual machines on Elastic Cloud: Basic, Universal, and Productive. Basic virtual machines are designed for low loads and are suitable primarily for simple operations or testing. Such types of virtual machines can be used, for example, to host MikRotik virtual routers, DNS servers, or used for simple tasks. They are hosted on servers with the Intel Xeon R CPU E5-2630 V1 processor type, and no more than 50% of the processor core is allocated for virtual machines. These virtual machines have a low cost. Universal and productive machines are more suitable for standard tasks and where serious calculations are already required. They're placed on a more productive platform, and up to 50% of the CPU is allocated for universal virtual machines, and 100% of the processor core is guaranteed for productive ones. These types of machines can be used for typical tasks: hosting web servers, databases, terminal services, and so on. As already mentioned, both Linux and Windows can be used as guest operating systems. By the way, the license for the Windows server is already included in the cost of the virtual machine. For convenient operation, we have prepared standard virtual machine templates, and this will help you quickly deploy the virtual machine or VM that you need. You can also connect a backup for each virtual machine separately. This is an additional paid option with the ability to choose the storage depth: 2, 7, 14 or 30 days. Now I'll focus a little more on the cost of backups and additional disks. As mentioned earlier, the backup can be connected in the management console for each VM separately, meaning that you can back up only those machines that you need separately, and you can set different storage depth. We charge a fixed fee per instance and additionally calculate the cost depending on the volume of disks that are connected to this virtual machine. Important: all disks connected to the VM will be backed up. So we suggest using 3 types of disks: Super, standard, and archive. The performance and cost of the disks used depends on the type of disks and their volume. Here, it's important to pay attention to the fact that the larger the volume of the connected disk, the cheaper the cost per gigabyte. In addition, an archive-type disk cannot be used as a system disk. In general, it's better to use them only for backups or storing rarely used information. Let's focus a little more on how billing works. We charge the following elements of the services. Compute. That is, the configuration of a virtual machine as a combination of RAM and CPU. Disks. System and all additional. Public IP addresses and additional network services. Backup. You can stop billing at any time directly from the management console. Important. When billing stops, the fee for compute is stopped as well as the virtual machine. You will not be able to connect to it and work with it until it is reactivated. Accordingly, in order to reactivate the operation of the virtual machine and start working with it again, you first need to click the Start Billing button. Without this, you'll not be able to start the VM. Once again, all these operations can be performed independently from the management console, without contacting technical support. For the convenience of our partners, we have provided additional functionality in the management console. From the main one, you can connect or disconnect and switch additional disks between virtual machines. For example, you can create one additional disk, place distributions or backups on it, and switch between different virtual machines. Even more conveniently, you can use network services in the management console. There is functionality for creating a virtual network, managing it, adding public IP addresses, connecting new virtual machines to the network, creating static NAT, and much more. You can take a snapshot for each virtual machine, which saves the current state of the VM, and this can be used to fix the state before any important changes. One snapshot is provided free of charge. Its suspension period is 7 days. In addition, there's the facility for partners to create a client in the console and to transfer access to it, so they can work with a virtual machine. But it limits the ability to change the configuration of the virtual machine or connect new services. You can easily perform all of these operations in the console, and you do not need to contact technical support. In general, the functionality of the management console is quite large. It allows you to perform many necessary operations. We really provide many useful additional features for our partners on one window or console. Now, let's focus on the capabilities of the API, access to which is provided on request. Key functions that can be used via the API are creating, deleting, enabling, disabling virtual machines, creating, deleting, and connecting to virtual networks, changing disk sizes, connecting or disconnecting additional disks, enabling or disabling billing, the times of which may be specified, adding and restoring from backup, creating and restoring machines from snapshots, and much more. And at the end of our webinar, just a few words about the S3, or Object Storage Service. Object storage is a way of storing data, objects, in which each object placed in S3 has its own unique identifier. There are no volume limits within the object storage, meaning that the storage is flexible and scalable. Our object storage is fully S3 compatible, which means that it's possible to work with it through standard API methods suitable for S3. Usually, object storage is used to host backups. Almost all backup software is compatible with S3, or to host media content, photos, videos, documents, etc. with versioning support. We do not limit the amount of data in any way, and also do not take into account traffic or the number of requests when downloading or accessing objects. Access is carried out via secure SSL protocol. only Open Port 443 is needed for access. No additional firewall configuration is required. The cost of the service is only 0.025 euros for 1 gigabyte per month, and you have an unlimited number of transactions with no traffic limits. Let's look at some examples of our partners. A real estate agency with 100 employees. They constantly work with the database and all of its facilities. The company works 7 days a week. Their digital infrastructure is a mess. All employees' computers have 2 network interfaces. There's no clear topology. The service they work with is in one IP network, and the employees are working in the other network. The database is on a slow old server with a very low performance. Employees complain all the time. Company management is unhappy with the IT team who are struggling to improve the situation, but over the years of the infrastructure development, the hardware became messy, and so many problems accumulated that it became unclear how to organize it. So the management team turned to our partner to deal with this mess. Our partner offered the solution with the hybrid approach. As a result, productivity was increased, and of course, no investment in new hardware was needed. A major part of the infrastructure was transferred to the cloud provider, our platform, and locally, only critical office solutions were kept. Most services were transferred to the cloud. We established connectivity between the office and the cloud, and in this way, our partner enabled for this client SSD drives and a new version of SQL. This gave a good performance gain at around 40% more efficiency. Virtual desktops, which work with perfect stability, so employees no longer complained about stability or performance. The company didn't have to buy new servers, licenses or add-ons. In fact, in this case, our partners, with our help and support, resolved all the problems which the client had with the IT infrastructure and gained 50% additional savings. Another example of a partner is an outsourcing company that provides accounting and reporting services for different companies. Peak of service loads occurred during certain periods of preparation and submission of reports. In order to avoid scaling the amount of local physical servers and to prevent downtime of their services, our partner decided to use our service, our cloud. First, they built a hybrid infrastructure and moved some of the resources to the cloud. Then they migrated the rest of the infrastructure. As a result, they achieved no capital costs and no service downtime. One of the great benefits is that you can reduce or increase the capacity whenever it's necessary. The API allows you to set up a schedule so resources may be added at the right moment. Thus, the cost of IT resources is reduced for the client with additional efficiency gains. We have a lot of different interesting scenarios for cloud infrastructure usage. Of course, we can talk about services, scenarios and cases for a very long time, but we appreciate your time and simply suggest that you test our services. Try it for free. Don't forget that we support with free pre-sale. Just email us, tell us about your particular case, and we'll find the best solution for you and for your client. It's absolutely free. For testing, just register in the Management Console, confirm your email, and all of our services will be available. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer. Our contact details are on the screen. Thank you all for your attention.